fire.
Welcome to Cannonballs, a comedy podcast where we review, react, and recap popular movie and TV franchises. I'm Brian Carey, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Aaron Laramie.
Hello, hello, hello.
Matt Martirosian.
Time without purpose is a prison.
And Wesley, I'm not drunk, I'm full. It's just that I'm very, very full, Isaac.
Love is like a dagger. Sometimes you pull it, and other times it stabs you.
Beautiful quote there, Wes.
that quote for Wes is right on the money.
Guys,
Brian.
I watched the episode this week.
Admit.
Could you tell, guys?
So I actually, we're bringing back the news segment that I totally did not forget in
oh baby,
in week.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
It's can Wes fit it in his mouth?
That's
All
the
right,
news
what
segment.
am I fitting in my mouth today?
that's our
boys?
news segment.
The news segment. Can't West
It's
fit his
just
mouth. It's a hat.
Call
Can
Steph
he do
over.
it?
Oh, did Marty hear news? Marty heard new segment instead of news segment.
Yeah.
Oh,
He did.
I didn't hear. I heard new segment, not news. Segment.
I was like, why is
What's
that
in the
news?
news? Well, what can Wes fit in his mouth?
I didn't get it, but I was just like,
We
I
go
was
to
gonna
Marty
roll
live
with
in the fields.
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I'm always on board with Marty, so I was just gonna roll with it. I didn't get it, but I was
I
like,
hear
yeah,
right
okay.
outside Wes's mouth.
Yeah, I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
Close enough, bro.
The roll.
He and both
Good job,
his
boys.
jaw are unhinged.
That's a good friend there, Marty. He was like, I don't get it, but I'm gonna shove this hat in my mouth.
I did. I tried to eat a hat for you, Marty, and you didn't even know what the fuck you were talking about.
Shit.
I'll laugh at every joke from yours until the end of
So,
time.
Brian, I gotta say,
you high?
we're a little bit.
No.
We're jumping into this news segment. I wanted to throw out too the possibility of us adding an old segment as well, which is plugging our socials in any capacity. Would be good.
All right.
I don't know if we've done that the last couple episodes. I don't want to throw a kink in
Last
your
15.
plans.
Yeah. You can check us out. I posted a couple TikToks. We're on there. We're just at
baby.
Cannonballs Podcast everywhere.
I should
think.
probably create a TikTok so I can look at these.
Oh yeah.
TikTok, Mr. Isaac.
I'm targeting the people who aren't into Loki, I guess. I haven't even snipped a single Loki conversation. It's just random stuff we've done. Yeah, TikTok, Instagram.
We should
We're
clip
on-
us talking about how we haven't talked about Loki
Yeah.
and have that as our
Ooh.
first Loki clip.
Our
Some
Loki
Inception.
I would
podcast,
like
where
it.
we talk about Homestar
You
Runner.
always clip the part where I was
Yeah.
right.
I would
and
like
and
it.
I called the thing, but
Oh yeah, Marty.
I'm about
Marty
it.
was right about a few things.
Head. I think Marty watched the head.
Yeah.
I wrote the show.
So yeah, also if you want our unedited podcast, the VOD on Twitch stays up there for a few weeks, I think. So here potentially.
Why? That's not good.
He
I need you guys
thinks-
to, I need that to go. I need that to go away instantly.
We need to
Sorry
delete
about-
those.
So movie and TV news. You guys see that Shang-Chi trailer?
I want to see the Curse of the Ten Rings, but that's not what it is.
Legend of
Shang-Chi.
the
Let's
Ten
take a look.
Rings.
It's the
Shang-Chi and the
Legend.
Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah.
Legend of the Ten Rings.
So
yeah,
Watch it.
the
Watch
trailer
the
the trailer
Shang-Chi.
looked cool. I was surprised. It looked like, and I might be wrong. I was looking through Reddit comments to try and figure out what the fuck was going on. So at the end, he's
Mhm.
fighting like a giant monster. Or at the end of the trailer, right? He's in a fucking Thunderdome with a big Hulk looking guy. I'm pretty sure that's Abomination,
Right.
it 100%
Who's,
is Abomination.
a famous Hulk villain.
Tim Roth.
Why is that? Why are they bringing? But so it's literally played by Tim Roth as well.
I have
See,
no
I
idea.
didn't do that research, but
This,
Oh, okay.
So that
but
trailer
yeah,
was
Tim
the
Roth,
first
right? That's
anybody
he played
knew, but-
Abomination in the Edward Norton one.
Yeah, it is Abomination.
I thought that was
That's
odd.
confirmed.
Is it weird?
No, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ring.
It's like if the new Doctor Strange villain was Carnage or something. It's just a weird
I
why.
don't think he's the
I don't
villain.
get how.
I think
And
he's just
I don't
there.
know a lot about Shang-Chi at all. No, but yeah, but it's just an odd, like, because the Abomination is one of like Hulk's biggest villains. Like, he is like, you know, the Lex Luthor or fucking Joker to like his Superman or Batman. It's just a weird, like, hey, there's Abomination that he fights on some random like world in a cage match or something. Like, I don't know. It's just a weird inclusion. Like, why make it Abomination? Just make any random monster. Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe to show he's strong, he can kick the Hulk's like, you know, super villain's ass or something. I don't know.
So
the trailer looked cool though.
Congratulations.
Very like mystical, like Doctor Strangey.
What I gathered from some of the research I did, so Shang-Chi's dad is the actual Mandarin, not the fake one who watches Liverpool games in Iron Man 3.
I believe you're pronouncing Mandalorian incorrectly. So his dad's the actual Mandalorian.
His dad is.
He's got 10 million brothers and sisters, or brothers probably.
Yep. My second of my 3 news stories. So we joked about the Disney Ride cinematic universe.
Jesus Christ, this is gonna take forever.
Of course.
Scarlett Johansson is starring in the next Disney Ride movie. What Disney Ride do you think she's
Johansson.
in?
I think she's in garlic bread.
See Black Widow climbs up the water spout.
Yeah, what movie is she in?
Climbs up the garlic sprout.
Marty, have you been to Disney World? Because that is not a ride. Tower of Terror, the movie.
Tower of Terror, there is like lore to it. Like the whole first chunk of Tower of Terror is like going through I don't know, I don't want to call it lore because that gives it too much credit, but you know, that's a weird one. That's like they're forcing it at this point. I mean, Jungle Cruise was obviously forcing it, but
Tower of Terror lore, right?
Tower of Terror.
Tragic night, October 31st, 1939. When lightning struck the building, 5 people boarded an elevator as the building was struck, causing the elevator to free fall. That's it. That's the entire
that's
lore.
like if Six Flags was
She's gonna do 2 hours. She's gonna do 2 hours of that.
News story 3. Patty Jenkins, director of Wonder Woman and other movies, is directing a Star Wars movie called Rogue Squadron. She's got a writer, Matthew Robinson. Do you guys know Matthew Robinson?
I do not know that name, Brian.
He his most recent work was the 2019 live-action Dora the Explorer movie, Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
Oh, hell yeah. You know what other classic movie is part of his repertoire? Is the awesome film Monster Trucks, where it's a fucking truck that's actually a monster inside of it. I don't know if you guys can see that very well.
Guys, I'm going to watch it tonight. We're going to watch Monster Trucks tonight.
I just want to throw it out there for you. The budget for this movie, $130 million.
Marty lost his headphones somehow.
That was
so way too much money.
Yeah, sorry, Marty.
Where do I find that?
In the $1 DVD bin at Walmart.
What's it streaming on?
So right now you can stream it on Epix. We all know. Just hop on my Epix subscription.
Oh yeah, we all share Aaron's Epix subscription.
Yeah, guys, don't say that too loud, Brian.
It's on Hulu.
They're gonna crack down.
Hulu, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, $3.99. That's already $3.98.
Oh, you're right. It is on Hulu. Oh, I should have dropped this menu down.
$2.98.
Oh man, Danny Glover, Rob Lowe,
star-studded cast.
Oh God, no!
He's got a goddamn star-studded cast here.
Critics consensus. Despite flashes of inspiration, the singularly high concept Monster Trucks shows that it takes more than monsters and trucks to create a compelling feature film.
The high concept.
Are you kidding
I like that
me?
putting a monster in a truck is high concept. Yeah, holy your shit came to a T here. Do you want to talk about a little bit about how you're feeling about outsmarting the
let me put it this
writing
way.
team of
5 seconds into the episode where they're just sitting down, where she's sitting down in a normal setting, I'm like, yo, this is a flashback. I'm going to text them right now. I'm totally right.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, they've been buddies forever. And then I was like, wait a minute.
I'm like, that's absolutely the woman.
Any sense.
Yeah, come on.
Hold on. And I was like, oh wait, they were friends before? And she's like, yeah, as your best buddy, huh? tell me, where's
It's like,
the
oh,
Time
they
Guardians?
were roommates.
And she's like, huh? And she's like, I said, why are you my best buddy forever? Where's the Time Guardians? I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I
she
see
kept
what we're
drawing
doing
that
here.
home, and it was like, sinister music. And I'm like, uh-oh. Wait a minute.
It's like
They did not do a good job of disguising it. I wanted it to be like they were best buds. They should have hit it a little
really
bit better.
was like
That hit a little bit too fast.
exactly.
A little bit too fast, too hard for me. I wanted to believe that they were friends from a long time ago, like fucking some weird ass shit's going
I
on
knew
here.
there was something
But,
wrong as
yeah.
soon as she said the phrase buffalo fingers. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Maybe
There's something not right. No one
maybe
calls
Wes,
it
they
buffalo
chop up-
fingers.
They chop up that scene and just sprinkle it throughout the episode, and then it's a reveal. Like, oh, she
Yeah.
reveals
friends
it
with her.
later.
Yeah, you could have done that. You could have done like the beginning of it. She's like, "Can I get some buffalo fingers?" And the chick's like,
Huh?
"I love buffalo fingers. How do you feel about being best friends?" And then it's like just goes into the episode, and halfway through, she's like, "We are best friends. Also, can you tell me where the timekeepers are?" And she's like, "Huh?" And then like
It
at the end,
actually-
she's like, "Timekeepers? What? Oh, we're not friends." I'm like, "Oh shit, they were never friends the entire time."
It
But
honestly,
they like threw it out so fast. I was like, "You guys have never been buddies."
it could have
Bullshit.
worked that way because
I hate
that scene wasn't like relevant to the later. That was just like the, hey, what is she doing when she saw Loki like coming back to the TVA, kind of like it
Yeah.
was, or not coming back to the TVA, but like it
No,
was
coming back into like that area where she was keeping
Exactly,
It, like,
yeah.
it didn't. You didn't need to explain the entire thing until the very end of the episode. It
That
didn't
is
help
that
you
is
at all.
absolutely
The
true.
whole episode is like, and honestly, I'm just gonna go out and say I was a little upset because I don't remember a lot of what we talk about on these shows, but I remember you guys saying there was only like 6 episodes, and they spent this entire episode on like a dying planet, not advancing the storyline at all, and that kind of made me a little upset. But you got 6 episodes and you spend 1/6 of it like this planet's gonna die, and the chick's like, "Yeah, who's gonna help me farm my shrimp?" And he's like, "I guess I'll do it."
There's a 10-minute train
like, yeah,
scene
did you
of them
just kill a whole
talking about
episode?
like,
Their mom.
what do you think love is, and him drinking and singing, and like all that stuff is cool. But there's definitely, I'm like, all right, this scene could be like half the time.
Dude,
and
I
we
was
could,
like,
keep the pace. Like-
advance the episode. We only have 6 episodes. Let's go. What are we
So
doing?
did you watch these like kind of in communion with each other, Wes? Like, did you go like 1 to 3? Because you didn't watch last week, right? Sorry, yeah. Brian's playing the fucking
I'm
TVA.
watching them the exact time that I'm supposed to watch them to stay on the sacred timeline.
I appreciate the
I'm not trying to be a
vagueness of that
variant.
sentence.
I really don't want to be a variant, you guys. So I'm
no.
like, I'm supposed to watch both episodes. Like, I'm not watching one again for 3 weeks. I'm not supposed to. I know. I've seen it.
So yeah,
I talked to my guy at the TVA.
So the episode, yeah, it kind of starts off with them, we're realizing that the portal is opening into the TVA. So she is ultimately what the fuck is her name
Sylvie.
again? Why am I'm totally
Sylvie?
blanking on her name? Sylvie. I wanted to say Sylvia, but I'm like that is not right.
Yeah. Early in the episode, we don't
So she
know
clearly
she's
she's
Sylvie,
heading back
but-
to the TVA, and then yeah.
But yeah, we'll call her
and so
Sylvie. Just
one of
to
the things
make
that
it
I was
easy,
curious
the whole-
about, and we'll touch on this
Let's just call
later,
them all,
but
let's just call them all Loki.
yeah. She talks about how a little bit later in the episode when she's shooting shit with Loki, she's like, "Oh, I had planned this for years." And then instantly she goes into the TVA and tries to use magic. I'm thinking, motherfucker, if you had planned this for however long, and the first thing she tries to do is go enchant someone, magic doesn't work in the TVA. That was like one of the very first, Loki tried to like do some sketchy shit, and they're like, it's not going to work here. So I'm curious. I feel like her story, like her as a character, I'm not confident that she is some truth telling. Like, I think there's some more nefarious bullshit going
All
on.
right, Aaron, for
I'm
what
being
we've seen
Marty
so
this
far,
week.
I
Aaron's got his tinfoil
I
hat
expect her
on.
to be way better than she is.
Yeah, I'm fashioning it to my head now, so they can't read
Let's
my
see it.
thoughts.
I expected her to be way more on top of stuff and way smarter than she is for the buildup and the expectation that she is so much more on top of things.
She's
Like,
been killing it
I agree.
so
Like,
far.
how does she she plans? Well, the whole thing is like she wipes out all these squads, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna be fucking nasty. And she shows up and she's like, oh, magic doesn't work, and I got booted out immediately, and I have no backup plan. We're just
Well,
gonna
to
die.
be
And I'm
fair,
like,
our
dude,
Loki is the one
you're supposed to
who
be like-
Borderline
stopped
saves
it.
her.
Well, if it weren't for our
Borderline
Loki,
saves
she'd
her.
be through that golden elevator.
like she could have. I agree. She could have made it all the way through and whatever, but it was way more unimpressive than I thought that she'd be in there just like fucking people up. Like
Sure.
when we see the first episode and Loki shows up there, he's like, "Oh, let me hit you like with this raisin," and the guy's like, "I'm gonna fuck you up." And she shows up and she fucks a
He's got
couple
his
guards
raisin
up,
shield.
but like, why does I just feel like the whole thing is that she keeps slaughtering everybody. Why does she need so many people out of the way to get there? Like, I wish that she was stronger and just better. That's
All
it.
right.
I just wanted her to be like in there just fucking people up. But I guess it doesn't. There's no storyline if that happens because she would have just killed our Loki and moved on.
And there's
it
no
would've been
guarantee
over.
that
So
if she had made it up the
yeah, if she was that
elevator,
good,
like, yeah, I don't know. I think there's no guarantee that even if she had gotten to the elevator, that
it would have worked.
you know, if things had all gone swimmingly, like for her and Loki, you know, her and fucking Loki both hop in the elevator and go up, and it's, you know, best friend fucking forever time, and like they could have opened the doors, and who knows, like, I mean, who knows what's at the top
fucking
of
mashed potatoes.
the elevators? I mean, yeah, exactly. Those are the fake elevators, you know, or whatever. He accidentally presses down, and they go down.
No, I mean, like,
instead of
especially
up.
after you find out that everybody's a fucking variant.
Mobius
I'm sure that it's
masturbating
not
to a jet ski.
stuff.
So, like you guys said, we got the opening scene with Sylvie and Hunter C20. They go to the TVA. Judge Renslayer shows up and stops the Loki-Sylvie fight. And Loki portals them to an apocalypse, which is also CD Projekt Red's next game, Lamentis 1 2077. Right.
I like it.
So, this is an apocalypse where the moon, Lamentis 1, is crashing into a planet, or vice versa. A moon's crashing into Lamentis 1.
I think Lamentis 1 is the planet.
And the moon is crashing into it.
I think the moon's crashing into the planet. Because, like, you see, like, the moon open up at the end, like a big weird-ass smiley face, and I was like, that can't be good.
I'm like, oh, it's secretly Pac-Man.
It makes me... Aaron, you remember the... it was
Hey,
one
yo,
of the
Marty.
Futurama movies where the moon or another planet
the
gets
billion
super
backs?
close to Earth, and they have to jump to the other planet. Like, they get super close.
I think
and
you're right.
gravity's doing all weird things. It made me think that
Can
might
you not?
actually-
Can you not do that?
They're like, all right, everybody, jump. You jump like a foot to the other
and you get
planet.
sucked to the other planet.
Oh shit.
So
Yeah.
part of
that's
me,
funny as fuck.
I was thinking, like, how did Lamentis 1 get to the point where everyone's still living on the planet and a moon's crashing into it and everyone's gonna die? And I'm like, how do we get to that
And
point?
like pretty darn close to crashing. Like there's meteor showers constantly.
So we're in the year 2077, right? Could you not predict that the moon was gonna smash into the
Well, here's
you
the
should
answer.
be able to tell. Like right now, if they were like, "Hey, the moon's." Yeah, tell me the answer, Brian.
I've got an answer
it seems
for
like
you.
You have the answer.
Those left-wing liberals just want to get jobs off of Lamentis 1. There's no moon crashing into it.
You're honestly probably not too far off.
Now, is that true, or are you just being a douche?
That's my only explanation. Both.
Brian's like the person
All right,
that
that's
they
fair.
see.
I like
the
it.
person who's in the house by herself is clearly a Republican.
Oh yeah,
I think you're absolutely right that it's a
hands down. She's like, my husband don't give a fuck about me, and I live on this planet till I die.
I think that theory is entirely legitimate because it seemed like there were two classes like on that planet. Like the train that they were taking to the Ark was very like Snowpiercer-y to me. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie either, where it's like it's the end of the world and there's a train with like rich people on the front and like a nice section. Yeah, exactly, classism. Because like clearly, I mean, it was almost like surreal when they were in the train a little bit because it was like bright colors and very like. I don't know. There was like art and shit around, and like I don't know.
Yeah.
It was very, very like upscale.
No,
and
absolutely.
clearly, the planet, it was definitely like a poor like mining planet or whatever, just being like sucked of its resources.
They need to charge their Rick Sanchez portal gun, so they're running around looking for a power source. They try to break into that woman's house to see if they have a way. She has a way to charge it. Sylvie tries
like,
brute force and gets blasted away. Loki pretends to be her dead husband and compliments her, or missing husband.
That was such a dick move. As soon as he did that, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, not that she gave a shit, but I was
me,
just like,
honey.
damn.
The guy.
She's like, nobody ever written this nice to me in years, chick.
I thought the bit of Loki doing a little trickstering was a nice like dichotomy between the two of them.
Yeah,
like showing their sort of differences stylistically. Not that they haven't done that like already a little bit. That they just like Loki is more bold and brash, a little like Squidward's artwork.
More like belongs in the trash.
He's got independence,
not giving a
authority,
shit
and
and
style.
drinking on the train.
So the woman tells them about the Ark to get off the planet. They need to take a train, but she says, "No way, you'll get a ticket." So
Luck getting tickets.
they combine their powers.
Good luck, y'all. You ain't getting no tickets on that goddamn Democrat train. Yeah, you ain't going on that Democrat train off this planet. We out here for life. This is where we live. This is my home. Welcome to Alabama, Lamentis, Alabama.
It's just a metaphor. It's just a metaphor for fucking all people who live in any area where it's coal or oil like at all. It's like I will die for my fucking coal mines. I'm like, you are anyway. Don't you worry.
Hey, you're an idiot.
So they combine their powers to get on the train. Loki pretends to be a guard. Sylvie enchants the guard who questions why this person's getting on the train without a ticket.
I thought it was funny. So Loki, during the bit with the woman in the trailer, Loki changes himself to look exactly like her dead husband. Right? Exactly. But when he changes into an outfit to get onto the train, he's just like, Loki. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to look exactly like Loki. Just change my outfit.
Why don't you turn into a guy that looks like one of the guards at this guard?
Not like,
he'd be like, I don't know who the fuck you are. He'd be like, it's me, God 12. He's like, no, why do you sound British?
That's why I'm like,
who
wait,
the fuck are you?
You don't have a Lamentis accent.
That was funny. Yeah. Oh, quite.
You don't sound like you from downtown hard-working Lamentis.
Oh, shit. That was funny. I appreciated that.
So they get on the train.
It was interesting. Very interesting.
They're both tired. They bond a bit about their upbringing, where they learned magic from. Some love, some sexuality.
Like my mother taught me I love my mom.
I think Loki is just on the whole sexuality as a spectrum train, where he's like, yeah, some dude, some girl, whatever.
Some
who
horses.
Gives a fuck? I'm pretty sure Loki fucks an animal.
Doesn't he have a wolf child?
A horse child. So Loki is the father of Odin's six-legged horse.
Where did we learn this?
Is it fast?
This is Norse mythology.
Does that count as 6 horsepower or 4?
Not MCU. I think it's 1.5.
Yeah, this doesn't. Yeah, he didn't fuck any animals in actual MCU. Oh, well, I thought each leg counted as 1 horsepower.
I thought there were extra legs. Wink, wink.
That makes sense.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was reading something as well, which I think falls apart like later in the episode a little bit, but that there's still some like manipulation going on her part. Like when she tried to like mind control or like manipulate Loki, and he's like, "Oh, that doesn't work. I'm too smart." Like that was like a diversion point where now she's like kind of in his mind, and like this is part of what's happening is the I don't know, not the I don't know. Yeah, it kind of falls apart because like she explains that she has to have a connection with them, like from the past memories or something. I don't know. I read it and I was like, that sounds okay. And then the more I thought about it, the more it kind of falls apart.
I wrote it down as a theory to talk about.
That she had like kind of created that thing or whatever. I don't fucking know.
So
I'm doing a bad job as Marty this week.
That's all right.
Yes.
So Sylvie reveals that when she never knew her mother Frigga, assuming she's a Loki, so she never knew Frigga. She died when she was young, and Odin was a bad dad. Add him to the list of MCU bad dads.
Yep, Adam.
She,
Adam-
I guess,
Adam
has been chased by the
LaRoche.
TVA since she was a child and adopted the name Sylvie. We're gonna talk about there's remaining skepticism about her being a Loki, but I think she's probably a Loki.
Yeah, I agree.
She
Anyway,
has her touches
with 6
give off that
episodes.
same
the
green,
same green.
like aura that Loki, any of the Loki, magic
With
that he
6
uses
episodes, she's definitely a Loki. You don't have enough time to
of like a
put
big
separate
reveal of
storyline for
something
her
else.
out.
You kind of don't. You're not.
Yeah,
wrong.
like what?
I
Then
agree.
what are we doing? Like they're like, oh, we got to reveal
She's secretly
that
Kang the
all the
Conqueror.
timekeepers
Like,
are variants. There's no timekeepers or some timekeepers. Also, she's not really a Loki. She's a Kilo, and she's not worth that
2.2
much
pounds.
unless you're from Colombia. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, there's too many things going on. Like she's definitely a Loki. We don't have time for that.
I
like,
kind of agree.
reveal.
I mean,
Yeah.
they kind of they made it just seem like they made it very bland or vague as to what she actually is. So I think at this point it'd be tough to keep using the word enchanted though. So maybe she's just both. Weird way.
Yeah.
And it was throwing me off. It's to the point where, like I said last week, like I'm gonna assume she's Lady Loki until they
gonna
finally
assume
cement that
he's Baby
yes.
Yoda until they tell us he's Grogu.
Exactly.
Facts.
Yeah. Or she's just Amy Adams and she's 100% in Enchanted. It's my Enchanted joke of the night. So
Amy Adams.
So
I think
Sylvie,
we did Ella Enchanted last time.
You
This time
did.
I went strictly Enchanted. So I'm trying to keep using. I'm gonna come up with some different sort of Enchanted thing next week. We'll see.
There's that Matt Groening
Amy Adams. Take a look.
animated show, Disenchanted. You gotta watch that. And
Oh,
because-
that's
yeah,
a good
you're
one.
right.
That show's so
That is
Yeah,
good.
that
good
show's
one.
actually pretty funny.
Yeah, top five Enchanted. That's already 3 of them right there.
All right, so
Mostly
Sylvie falls asleep and wakes up to Loki seemingly drunk and singing an Asgardian drinking song. When she sings "Come Home." He's acting drunk.
The little.
What you saying? She sings, "Come home." What you saying? She sings, "Come
I was hoping there'd be a
home."
little more lyricism
wanna-
to
you guys
that
wanna
song. Actually, the bit where he sings in, it's supposed to be in Asgardian. I think it's just in like
It's
not
Norwegian.
Latin, but it's something that he's singing in.
Yeah,
It's Norwegian, sure. But reminded me of the bit where Mary sings to the king in
Jesus.
Return of the King
Oh.
when he's eating and crunching on tomatoes and shit.
Yeah, and he's eating the chicken, and Faramir's like going to his
Yeah,
death.
yeah.
And they're like, and he's like, "I got one song for you, sir." And he's like, "Sing for me, boy." And he eats all the
Munching on his
chickens, and
chicken.
he's like,
Yeah. Popping cherry
yeah, and
tomatoes.
Faramir's just like riding out. He's riding out with like 12
That-
dudes, like, let's fuck them up.
That
And
song
those dudes are
totally.
like, yeah, we're gonna kick your. He's like, "Look," and he shoots them all with arrows, and they're like, "Yep, that's it." And he's like, "Oh, that sucks, man."
That
We should do Lord of the Rings
that song.
balls, man.
We will. That song definitely reminded me of like a Lord of the Rings esque. Like I could see them singing that in the background of
Oh, yeah.
fucking Sam and Frodo climbing up Mount Doom or something.
So Loki
Wah.
gives his "love as a dagger" speech. Sylvie doesn't buy it. Anyway, Loki's attracted too much attention. Some guards come and they fight, and he gets kicked off the train. This is when
He
we
gets thrown out the window.
He
I
does.
thought that was like it was weirdly like slapstick where they're like they're fighting and they're trying to get him off and they're just like ooh and he fucking chuck him off the train.
I
Like,
saw a compilation.
Yeah, I was like, did that
of-
actually happen?
I saw a compilation of like Loki hitting the ground face first and doing this hair flip thing, and it's like legitimately the same in every movie he's in.
Yeah,
Really?
no, I saw
That's
that.
very
That was
funny.
so funny.
So he hits the ground, does his hair flip. He crushes the Rick Sanchez portal gun, and
he sat on it.
Wee.
their new plan is they're gonna steal the Ark and make it off the planet.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Um,
jeez, Brian.
so
I thought that was a
we're gonna
pretty
make it
bold
off. Oh,
move.
geez.
They're like, yeah, we couldn't just ride this train with no issue to the Ark and take it. So let's fucking steal the Ark. And when
they came up with that, I was like, if this actually works,
I'm like,
this show's kind of bullshit. Like,
you guys know how that less complicated plan totally failed. Well, let's complicate things up a little bit. It'll fucking go swimmingly. Like that was funny.
Yeah,
I didn't hear no bell.
Not that they really had a choice.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna forget this after, so I'm gonna tell you now. And I think that they end up doing something to alter like everybody dying, so the TVA shows up and brings them back. Like I think that's how this next episode pans out. Is that like they do something where it's like not everybody dies? Like Loki like holds up, like he holds up the moon or some shit, and it's like people survive, and they're like,
do you think that because it's an apocalyptic event that if they change things, that the TVA won't notice?
No, the TVA will notice if they have people survive. Yeah. So I think they're gonna find a way to have people like not die. Like Loki's gonna be like, I'll send the moon back out to orbit or some crazy ass shit. Where the TVA is like, hold on, wait a minute, everybody's supposed to die here, and now
they're walking to the Ark and sort of meandering like to the city. Yeah. They have kind of an in-depth conversation about how to enchant people, and Loki's kind of poking her for like information a little bit about like
how do you do the enchantment?
To make a connection with them through a memory and you know.
Quite intriguing.
Yeah, I have a feeling that'll end up like coming back and biting her in the ass to some capacity that she kind of led on, like, because I don't know how good he is at doing that specifically, the sort of enchanting that she was doing, or the mind control or whatever. I think that's going to end up definitely coming back, because that conversation was a little too like purposeful.
Yeah, and that same conversation is when we find out all the TVA workers are variants, and Loki's like, "What? Yeah. But they don't know that.
They go Marty.
Bad guys.
They go Marty. They go Marty.
Oh man,
let's go Marty.
Brought to you by Cannonballs.
Speech.
Yeah, here's our ad drop.
Right.
Brought to you by Marty Balls.
This is when we have our brief 30-second ad break for Marty's mind reading rings.
Marty's
if you look at any old comic book, if you scroll to the very last page, you scroll to the very last page of any old comic book, you'll see a little page worth of ads. If you clip that ad out and call the number on there, you wait about 60 to 90 days, you're going to get a
Dakota ring,
little pocket
Marty mind reading
pocket
ring.
Marty.
Predict the damn future.
You're gonna get a Marty.
I appreciated the revelation like right there about the TVA, just because I was thinking like, again, that was something like we've said before, like are they going to draw this conclusion out like over a couple episodes? But the fact that they're jumping into it, it's like the revealing sort of the Lady Loki bit of like, okay, now clearly like we know some shit's up at the TVA, so next episode we'll be able to get more into kind of the meat of what the story is, and we're not going to have the next one will be much less likely to be a filler, at least I hope.
Yeah, no, it's a good setup. I just my only issue is that we only have 6 episodes.
6 is way too few either way.
To spend an entire episode, you needed 8, at least 8. Like to spend 6 on this, I'm like, wow, you spent an entire 1/6 of your season on like a setup episodes to be like. So you explain that the TVA is full of variants. That's all it is, and that Loki and Lady Loki are like Lokis. Thanks.
So they make it to the city where the Ark is, and the planet starts getting close to the moon. Meteors are crashing all around. The world's clearly ending, and these guards are just loyal till the end.
Big old meteors. I was watching it with Steph, and we both like turned to each other and we're like, why as a guard, like the world is literally ending, like meteors are crashing into your city and like destroying it.
Who are you protecting?
Who the fuck do you have allegiance to at this point? Like what moron is sitting there and whatever, I guess that's it, is maybe they're just morons, or I don't know.
Like my argument is maybe not morons, maybe just there's nothing else to believe in, so it's like I'll just go out in the line of duty at that point. Like my job is to
protect. Are the ones who supported the police on the planet?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
So Wes,
we're dying to spite the liberals.
No, I think it's a big setup to something that's gonna. Do you remember in the Star Wars series where like Rey shows up and she's like, Luke Skywalker, here's your lightsaber. He just throws it over his shoulder like, fuck that garbage. Same exact thing.
Oh,
Same
Ryan
exact thing's gonna
Johnson's
happen.
directing the
It's
next
going to be like,
episode.
oh, fuck, they're going to die.
yeah,
Yeah,
oddly
they're going to
enough.
die and the planet's coming. Loki's going to be like, nah, fuck that. And just send that shit back out into space. And it's going to be like, everybody survived. And the TVA's going to be like, whoa, y'all supposed to die. And then Owen Wilson's going to show up and be like, wow, you saved the planet.
Wow.
All right, I got 4 quick Easter eggs.
Wow.
Then I've got 5 theories I want to talk about, plus whatever you guys want
Go,
to.
pal.
Some of these Easter eggs are pretty quick, and you'll just be like, oh, so the same instrument used in the Loki Marvel theme is used in the Doctor Who theme.
Wow.
All right.
Is that an
Next.
Easter egg, or is that just
It's a weird
factual
instrument.
state? Like, is that just an observation? Oh,
It's
okay.
like the subreddit movie
It's
details.
like a guitar was used. Sure.
It's like the subreddit movie details where it's
Shut
just
up, Aaron.
like
Brian has things
Yeah,
to say.
I'm talking too much.
the alarm clock was shown in this movie to tell you what time it was. It's along the lines of that.
Yeah.
So
This alarm clock was digital because it's a movie filmed in modern day. Like,
This is
oh,
to
wow.
tell you.
50,000 upvotes. Like,
Fuck, all right.
yeah.
So while Loki's drinking
Number
at the bar and he slams his glass down and yells another, that is exactly what Thor does in Thor 1 when he's at the diner drinking the coffee. Oh.
I believe that.
We already talked about Loki
Wow.
fucking the horse in Norse mythology, so we'll skip over that one. Lamentis,
Wow.
Wow.
all these signs are in the Cree language, which we're probably going to get a secret invasion sort of movie, which is all the
I think that
shape-shifting
is one of
Kree.
the big, because isn't King the Conqueror Cree?
Great question.
I might be way off with that.
I think
I
in
know
this
Captain
universe it
Marvel
could
is
be.
Cree.
Yeah.
There's
So,
some
yeah.
super powerful like
Just,
Cree people, but okay.
Little Easter egg. So
Yep.
theories. Is
next.
Sylvie actually Loki? Where do we stand on that? Or a Loki? I'm
Yes.
leaning more towards yes, like I think you guys are.
We don't
I
have
think
enough
she's
time.
Loki.
I'm telling you, we don't have enough
I'm
time
thinking
to make her
yes.
something else.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Loki.
In
Yes.
general, some of my theories
Lock it
left
in.
here. I think we can't go as bold for the rest of the series. Like people went too bold for Captain or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and for WandaVision, where they're like, "Oh, Mephisto, Doctor Strange,
Yeah,
Power Brokers,
though.
your mom," and like it's. I think it's gonna be less crazy than some of these.
Your
theories out
mom!
there.
Your mom!
So yeah, I like.
I love that theory.
And Loki's your mom.
Kevin Feige. So Kang is not Cree.
Okay.
No, but Kang's your mom.
Random throw it out there. Yeah.
So
That joke won't get old next week.
I like that they're saved by the TVA last minute. I think it may have more to do with like Mobius knowing this apocalypse theory than any Nexus event, but you know they got to.
No,
do
I
something.
think there's too many apocalypses. I stand by that they kind of save some of the population. So
Next theory. So Aaron brought up that Sylvie may be enchanting Loki for the rest of the episode. There are other theories that when Sylvie passes out, Loki's now in charge of this illusion. I personally think nobody's enchanting or doing any illusions, but do you guys think there's any merit to someone's running this show now?
I definitely, listening to their conversation about the conversation with Sylvie about how enchanting works, that unless that was bullshit, which I don't think, I think clearly in the first part of the episode that was laying like the groundwork for how like the sort of enchanting works. But I read that theory and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then in like really thinking about it, I think it falls flat when you kind of digest it. But
got you, bro. I like that idea that it becomes something eventually. I just don't think it'll happen in the next episode. I don't think it'll be super relevant. I think that we could see at the very end episode 6, end of like this season or whatever, I think that we could see like the enchantment shit kind of takes place and like maybe regular Loki enchants somebody or like something weird happens, but I don't think we'll see it sooner. I think we'll see it towards the end of like the entire series.
Marty, what do you think in our King of the
I also have another.
That's my whole thing.
I thought that there is a chance that she could be enchanting him.
Okay.
I also believe that they kind of made it a point that our Loki is the more powerful Loki. And I mean, this sounds cheesy, but because he has a mom, that seems to be a point that they're driving, is that Loki being nurtured by his mother makes him
better with magic
Loki,
for sure.
So that's where I think
she has some
I think that's where
maybe not even more powerful, but yeah, maybe not even more powerful, but just more like well-rounded.
Oh yeah,
like she seems like she's sporadic, and like even when we talked about earlier, like she had this whole plan, and then like she still tried to enchant people at the TVA.
I heard
like he is more like understanding of what he needs to do to be successful in his own endeavors. Like he shows up at TVA, they fuck him up, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna play it like this. Like she shows up and she's like, I can't enchant this guy, I'm gonna kick his ass and hope it works out okay. And I'm like, yeah, that's a little more like run and gun sort of thing than like he's kind of like more well-rounded, where it's kind of like, okay, like this doesn't work, so I'll just join up with these guys and like we'll figure it out from there, you know? Yeah, like he's quicker on his feet. Maybe, and again, like maybe it's because of like I had a mother thing, but like I don't know what angle they're going for in this story, but to me that's what
I heard like a parallel theory, and I don't want to step on Brian's toes here but that that Loki, the Loki that we're currently seeing is like a mirage Loki. Like it's not really, because he can create like copies of himself,
duplicate thing.
That the Loki that's stuck on this planet right now with her, when he like stepped through the portal into the TVA, that he created a copy of himself to go engage with her, and it's not really him on that planet.
I mean, well, it should be a copy though, because he dies in like the actual like
in like the other universe,
sacred timeline or whatever. He actually gets killed.
I mean, like he creates
so, like
a
the part of
vision
him here should be kinda. Like they could. Oh no, sure, but I'm saying like they have the opportunity to make this as deep of like a rabbit hole as they want, because you're basing it off of like a sacred timeline that gets changed by so many events. Like Loki shouldn't even be at this point. So we're already looking off a branched off variant timeline, which could just keep branching off, and it's like, oh well, other Loki branched off and he killed everybody here and took over, but this one like worked with us, and like, you know what I mean? Like they can make this as crazy as and as in depth like as they want. They shouldn't, because it would be ridiculous. You could be like, all we're doing is Loki, 1,000,000 episodes. Like, I'd be like, what the fuck are we watching?
Forever and ever, but Loki.
In theory, they could make it where it's like, like the actual Loki.
True.
No, they could. The actual Loki was supposed to branch off, but he kills everybody at the TVA and he takes over. But this version of this Loki like fights with the TVA to capture this other Loki that's not really, and it'd be like, this is fun, crazy shit.
So again, they're so focused on that middle timekeeper, and only the middle guy. They're not zooming in on any of the other ones. It's just the middle head. Last image of the credits are on that middle guy.
Sure.
If it is King the Conqueror, so my tinfoily theory is there's not 3 timekeepers. There's one person pulling the strings, little Wizard of Oz thing. Super tinfoily, there is a different variant Loki who's running this whole TVA illusion, who's hunting down other Loki.
I feel like that's what I just said before, where I was like, there's a bunch of different Loki shit where he's like half variant and half of this shit. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. I think that'd be cool. I just think it would get so far. I don't think it's true, because I think
that would be head up its own ass a little bit.
That it could end up. Yeah, it would just be. It would be crazy.
Yeah. Is Miss Minutes the real bad guy?
She's actually Loki.
All right.
You can't, right?
Last just question. Did you guys get any weird sexual vibes between Loki and Lady Loki?
Absolutely, 100%. I thought they were gonna fuck. I was like, why? I was like, why are you guys gonna fuck on the train, man? I did not like that at all. I was like, aren't you the same person? Stop trying to fuck on the train.
So, my final thoughts on this
Good
episode.
job, Brian.
I'd say it was my least favorite so far. Like we touched on, we get like a lot of background and rapport between these two. A few reveals, but like the pacing suffered a ton because of it. I'm still excited for next episode.
My issue is the pacing.
Yeah, pacing
Absolutely.
was not great.
You know what the issue. My main issue was that I knew that it was only 6 episodes, and you spent an entire episode doing like backstory and being like, "Hey, we can kind of be friends a little bit, but also like let's talk about our lives." I'm like, "What are we doing? You got 6 episodes to tell the story. Like you got to hook me in. Like you got to Bernarnold me like in episode 6. You haven't come close.
Bernardo.
I'm waiting for a Bernarnold
That name
reveal,
doesn't mean
and I
anything
haven't
to me.
seen shit yet. Like.
It's because Brian's
Nice.
part robot.
The
Robot.
theory, the first of his name.
See you, Marty.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't a fan of this episode. So I'll watch every episode twice. I didn't really have much of a desire to watch this one twice. The only cool thing I got out of it was that I was right. And outside of me being right,
The coolest part of the episode
about
was
it.
I'm awesome.
yeah, that was it. That was my takeaway from this episode was that I have powers, and my powers are better than the Loki's. So
That was my best takeaway too.
All right, real quick. I think that, and I heard that Marty said he likes to watch each one twice, and he didn't watch this one twice. I think that after we see the next one, it'll either be an episode that is like this 3rd episode will either be like really good, and we'll be like, oh fuck, like the 4th episode really ties it together, or they'll fuck it up entirely and it'll be like fuck episode 3, 4, and 5, like these were all shit. So
Marty, as we always say to end the Cannonballs podcast,
it's Mr. Nimbus. He controls the police.
Fire.